This year. We didn't have this last year, but this is fun to check out because it's just so damn big.
You said it's a cow?
Yeah, pretty sure. They didn't tell me what it was, but that's the only thing I can think of that's big enough and readily available would be a cow heart. Right? So you can see those same structures I talked about, those auricles, look kind of like ears. See on this side as well. As I told you, that's going to help make the atrium get a larger volume, fit more blood in it. We can also look inside. See a lot of those structures I talked about. One thing to notice here, look at the left ventricular wall. Look at the right ventricular wall. See how it's about half, maybe less, maybe a third of as thick as the left wall. So that's what you guys will use to determine what side is what of the heart. Look at the thickness of the walls. That's going to tell you the story. We can also see those chordae tendineae, papillary muscle right in here. We can see our bicuspid valve, tricuspid valves down in here. You can see the trabeculae carnae real nice right in there. This is that interventricular septum. Here we're looking inside of the left atria. The right atria is right back in here. A little easier to get to on this side. As you guys are examining this heart and our sheep's hearts, what you're going to want to do is be able to pass your finger or a probe through some of the different chambers, and then you can figure out off the top what vessels are what, by what chamber you've moved through. Be cautious of whether or not you're moving through a valve. If you're moving through one of these big valves, you're going from ventricle to atria. If you're not going through a big thick valve, you'll be leaving a ventricle and either coming into a ventricle or leaving. So you'd be going, if it's on the right side, you'd be going out to the lungs, left side, out to the body. Check those out, and like I said, you've got to pass something through these to figure out what's what. Or both fingers, both sides, find them in the middle. Good exploration though. That's how you're going to learn those vessels the best. So our cat dissection can be fairly quick today. You guys want a little tiny heart. First thing I'm going to do is remove my right lung. Kind of pull it apart from the body wall. And look for where it's going to have its vessels go to the heart. So if I look right here, I can see my connections that go towards the heart. Can't really tell if it's artery or vein at this point. It really doesn't matter because we're just getting it out of the way. So you can cut right, you can cut left, you can cut both left and right. Either way, we can get rid of a lung or both lungs in order to see some more of these structures. So there it is, the right lung. If you examine the lung as well, you should be able to see your bronchi entering the lung. It's going to be the stiffest and the hardest of these, as well as you can look for arteries and veins. The stuff I just picked out of there is some old blood. So you know you're in one of those vessels, right? Veins are going to have very thin walls, like a fabric hose. Arteries are going to have really thick muscular walls, and they will stay round. They'll look like a pipe in comparison. So take a look at the heart, or sorry, the lung. Then we can start picking away at the rest of the heart here. You want to see some of the major vessels that exit the heart. You want to see the vena cavas, as well as the aorta. So right here I've exposed my superior vena cava. On this animal, I've also exposed that phrenic nerve. It's the phrenic nerve right there. Right here we can see the azygous vein coming in to hit that superior vena cava before it goes into the right atria. Azygous vein is going to run on the right side of the thoracic cavity. The hemiazygous runs on the left side. These will run right next to the vertebrae, and you'll see a bunch of veins coming into it from the ribs. This is how we drain blood from the thoracic cavity and get it into the heart. So I'm kind of pushing my heart to the left side. I can also see my inferior vena cava as it's headed towards the diaphragm. So this one right here is inferior vena cava. And you can see where it penetrates the diaphragm right there. That's going to bring blood from the rest of the body. Everything from below the diaphragm comes up that inferior vena cava to hit the heart. So I've just been kind of picking at this connective tissue with my probe. We really don't want to break any blood vessels. We can avoid it. You can start to see the branches of the aorta. It can be kind of variable. You can have two branches come off of it immediately or just one. Those are going to be the brachiocephalic arteries heading up towards the head, your carotid arteries, things like that. This cat had just one branch off the aorta. Others will have a pair of branches right here. This is a spot where you're going to see a good bit of variance from animal to animal. The aorta itself sits right on top of the heart. So you'll have to go pretty far to get the dissection to see the aorta. Kind of like when we discussed the colon, there'll be an ascending aorta, an aortic arch, and then a descending aorta, all within the thoracic cavity. Be familiar with those terms. Next thing we can do is get the heart out of the pericardial sac. You kind of pull up on it with your forceps or with your fingers. Get a little incision to open up this little bag. Probably going to be a good bit of fat and stuff inside that pericardial sac on most hearts. You want to clean a bunch of that off if possible. And we can start looking for the structures that we need to. So just like on the big guy here, we can see the right auricle. If I look to the other side, we can see part of our left auricle. This left auricle right there. Pretty much all you're going to see at the outside of the heart at this point. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and do a little dissection on this heart. So the way I'm cutting it, so hopefully we can see into both ventricles with this cut. Cool thing with our cats, they've been triple injected. So if they did a good job, we should be able to see oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood within our heart. We will not see that in the sheep's heart. So, like I was saying, we can see it. We can see the blue in here. In the right ventricle, right atria, deoxygenated. We can see the red on this side, the left ventricle, left atria, oxygenated. can see that really, really thin right atrial wall, not much thicker than a couple pieces of paper. You can see how thick that left ventricular wall is. You can see those papillary muscles, trabeculae carnae, all that good stuff. That's about as far as you guys need to go with this dissection. If you take a little bit of time and clean up down here in the chest cavity, you'll be able to see that azygous vein a little bit better. That'd be nice. But other than that,